What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this one we have Should You Live in Melbourne? Pros and cons of living in Melbourne. I'm very excited to dive right into this. I hear Melbourne is an absolutely great city. Expensive city, but great city to live in. We're going to find out. If you guys happen to enjoy this, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and let's dive right in. Alright. It is gorgeous. Ooh.
Everyone, if you're new here, my name is Jamie and I post vlogs, lifestyle and finance videos here on my channel every Sunday. A lot of you wanted me to film this video, so I'm here running through what I love and don't love about Melbourne. For some context, I moved from Perth, Western Australia to Melbourne in 2015, so it's about 7 years now, and I have also lived in Boston and Jakarta, so I have those cities to compare to as well.
Y'all talk to me in the comment section. Perth, Melbourne. Which one would you choose had you been given the option out of the two? Yeah. Talk to me. I want to hear your answers. Okay, we'll continue. Dang, this food look good. She be eating good. Okay.
In terms of actually living in those cities and not just visiting. And before I get really stuck in the video, I know that there are going to be some people who wildly disagree, especially fellow Melburnians, but please, it's just personally what I love and don't love about Melbourne. Do not attack me, okay? So let's get into it. Something I do not love about Melbourne, but I just got used to it, and that is the weather. The weather changes so frequently in one day that I feel like I always have to dress in layers and bring an umbrella with me because anything can happen throughout the day, and I feel like I have such a lack of trust for the weather forecast that I'm just prepared for all the seasons whenever I go out, and it definitely took some getting used to. Now the roads,
that is absolutely frustrating, right? When you don't know what the weather's gonna be like, when the forecast say one thing but you walk outside and it's another thing. I grew up with this in Texas, in the state that I'm from. It was just very unpredictable at what I was going to get, and so it's like you got to be prepared for everything. You got to have your t-shirt on for that bright sun under the rain jacket in case it come down. You don't know what you're going to get. All right, have that umbrella with you at all times. Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of the roads. Even in the city and the suburban areas, it's not great for me. I am a terrible driver already, and driving with trams and hook turns and curvy roads that literally go like this, it's a lot for me. Traffic can also be really bad, and drivers can be really aggressive, but I feel like that's pretty common with a big city. Now, the next one, I don't think it's going to be too controversial, but I think that you have to drive quite a bit to actually land at a nice beach. The beaches around Melbourne, like St. Kilda, are pretty average, especially when you're comparing to other Australian cities like Perth or Sydney. So if you're an avid beachgoer, I think that it's definitely something to consider. Now, turning to what
first of all, I'm with you on, it sounds like difficult. Because I ain't got to drive on roads with public transport and everything. So when you throw in trams and all these different obstacles in my way, you're talking about hook turns where you got to turn one way to turn back the other way. That's difficult. I'm not rocking with that one bit. Traffic. I don't live in big cities. I can't stand the busyness of big cities. But the number one thing I can't stand is traffic. Traffic is such an annoyance to me. I like being able to get to where I want to go unimpeded for the most part. There's a little bit of traffic, understandable, but there's always traffic. It's extremely frustrating. So I stay away from big cities. Dang, y'all ain't got no good beaches around Melbourne, so where you gotta take a drive to get to one of the good ones. How y'all feel about that? Talk to me in the comments. The beach is just average? I gotta hear from you. All right, keep it going.
Beachgoer, I think that is definitely something to consider. Now, turning to what I love about the city, I love the diversity of Melbourne. It's such a multicultural place with people from all around the world, and I think that's a huge reason why the city feels so vibrant. Victoria has people from around 200 countries, and almost 50% of Victorians were born overseas or have at least one parent who was born overseas. And yes, I did a little bit of research for this video. I think it's just so amazing to visit different suburbs where you can really feel different cultures and hear so many different languages spoken. It's just so rich in diversity, and I feel like the city really celebrates that. So for example, we have so many different festivals going on, like the Chinese New Year Festival, the Japanese Summer Festival, the Taste of Portugal events, the Irish festivals, and so on. I think the diversity of the city also contributes to how progressive the city feels, and I feel like people are generally more open-minded. The diversity of Melbourne is also very much reflected in the food and the restaurants that we have here. Whatever you are craving, whether it's from a place you visited while you were traveling or a place that you used to live in, you can find it in Melbourne and it will be delicious. Since we're
Hey, shout out to all the diversity going on in Melbourne. The way she makes it sounds like it's absolutely amazing. And it is like people from over 200 different countries, like all living in one place. Like she said, to be able to experience so many different cultures, I think that's really exciting. Without leaving your country, you get to experience all these different cultures from all these people that have come from different countries. What's more fascinating than that? I'll tell you what's more fascinating than that. Experiencing the different foods from all of these different countries. Experience foods from all over the world. I'm a big food guy. I love food. And so this would just be absolutely spectacular. So yeah. Food, cultures, ideas, diversity brings in so much pros that it's incredible. Melbourne, okay, I like that.
We're talking about food. I cannot stress this enough. The food in Melbourne is freaking amazing. There's always new restaurants and cafes to try out.
Ooh.
Seriously, you will never run out of delicious food in the city. Just get that Zomato list up and going and look at those 4.0 and above ratings and you are set, and you can have really high quality dining experiences. And the brunch is amazing. I'm really passionate about it because I just love exploring new cafes and restaurants. It's basically 90% of my life. And of course, it goes without saying, but the drinks and the coffee are so good. There's always new underground bars, rooftop bars, themed bars that are popping up everywhere in Melbourne. I've kind of touched on it, but
I'm not a coffee drinker, but I think every video that I reacted to from everybody, come on, we know about the coffee. Australia got the best coffee culture in the world. Everybody brags about how absolutely exceptional Australian coffee is. So we know about that. The fact that there's different bars, the drinks, the alcoholic drinks, I'm assuming when she says drinks, are so awesome. That's what's up. And food, like I said, I'm a big foodie. She talked about the food being absolutely phenomenal. You can always find great food in the city. Always. And there's always new places popping up, so you get to try and experience so much different things. And that's what I'm all about, experiencing new foods, because I want to taste everything to see what it is I love the best. And you never know if you will or won't love something until you taste it. But yeah, that's super dope. Brunch, I'm not a big brunch guy. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, that's it. Maybe a couple snacks in between. But the way that food was looking on her plate, I might be a brunch guy if I were to move to Melbourne.
love how vibrant the city is. Ever since I first visited Melbourne, I just fell in love with the busy feeling of the city, and I didn't feel overwhelmed. Rather, I just felt so inspired and motivated by the energy that the city kind of consumes you in. I think Melbourne is such a thriving cultural hub with beautiful art galleries and exhibitions and theater shows and festivals and concerts. Big entertainers and exhibitions never skip Melbourne on their Australian tour. That was something that was so annoying to me when I lived in Perth. We would always get skipped, at least when I was living there. So, for example, the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child play came to Melbourne. The F1 is in Melbourne. The Van Gogh Alive exhibition at the Loom was incredible. There's also a lot of free events around Melbourne that you can attend. Okay, this one might be controversial.
It sounded like everything happening in Melbourne. It's a city that ain't gonna get skipped when people going on tour of Australia. F1, big Formula One fan. Shout out Max Verstappen at the moment. I know he not Australia. I know y'all got Oscar Piastri, who's absolutely killing it right now. Daniel, not so hot at the moment, but y'all got Piastri, who's on fire with McLaren right now. So I know y'all got y'all representatives for the Formula One team. But that's just really awesome that there's always going to be events and everything going on. And I'm sorry the video kind of is like laggy a little bit. I apologize. Internet, it decides that it wants to not work greatly sometimes. Let's continue.
But I really think the public transport here is pretty great. And I know not all of it is amazing. I acknowledge that there are aspects that are not ideal and there's room for improvement. Like there's a lot of construction, there's delays, etc. But on a whole, I feel in my experience, the city is pretty connected through public transport and it's accessible. I have been living without a car. I can get around so easily by myself and go in all different directions and get to my destination with public transport. There's also express trains if you're commuting into the city. And I know it's not perfect, but I really do like the public transport here. Now, the final one is more about Victoria and the state itself, but I really love the road trip destinations that are around Melbourne. You really don't have to go very far to feel like you're having a little break from the hustle and bustle of the city. So there are a lot of destinations that you can go for a day trip or a weekend getaway, from the Grampians to Mornington Peninsula to the Yarra Valley to Wilson's Prom. And it's just really nice to sometimes take a break from the city and have a little bit of peace and quiet. That is a wrap on this video. I really didn't want to make it too long. If you want to see a video from me where I talk about how much it costs to live in Melbourne or anything else really, please just let me know in the comments below. I think you can tell from my vlogs how much I love this city. So I hope you found this useful or enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it more than you know. I hope you have a great week and I will see you next Sunday. Bye!
That was a dope vlog, dope video. Got to learn a bit about Melbourne. I already know how much I don't know exactly how much it costs, but I know it's a pretty expensive city to live in. But so many great things about it. I love the fact that she talks about like you can go like if you want to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city, which is inspiring for her. She says not overwhelming. It's inspiring, and that's really amazing. But maybe you need to take a break from it. There's different things that you can go do kind of outside of the city where there's not many people, and you can just kind of relax. Let your brain relax, and without being overwhelmed, or sometimes you need to recharge your battery. But it just sounds like a city where amazing food, diversity, so much to do. Even though there's traffic and it's a very busy city, which you could expect. It sounds like an absolutely awesome city overall. Y'all let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you enjoyed that, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and then check out the next one. I'll see you guys next time.